Hello there and welcome. Today we're going to be taking you on a full tour of our baby Spinosaurus enclosure. But before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Alright, here we go. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Here we are at the entrance of our Spinosaurus nursery lagoon. So just imagine that you've got off the boat over here behind me. In fact, let me just go up so you can get a better view. Here is a boat that we've built, and this boat takes you on a full tour around the park. Over here in the distance you can see this massive lake. This is for the adult Spinosauruses. You can see them both over here. Here we have the male and the female getting a bit close for comfort to one of our other boats over here. And these boats stop off at different checkpoints around the park, and this is one of them over here. So imagine the boat comes sailing in, but before we can open this gate there are staff in these towers just making sure that the Spinosauruses aren't too close. And once they're happy there's no Spinosauruses lurking around, the boat can then come in, park up. But before we open the second gate we must make sure that no Spinosauruses have swam through. Once we're happy with that, we'll close this gate, and then the second gate can open, and then the boat can park up at this docking area. The drawbridge can come down and the guests can get off and then walk around over here. This is a queuing area, so this is for guests that want to get on the boat and continue their tour around the park. Once you're off the boat, if you need to use the bathroom, we have toilets over here. We also have a snack bar and some vending machines in case you're a bit thirsty and a bit hungry after that exhausting boat ride. We have some lovely sandwiches, donuts, and looks like some muffins and some cookies there. So once you're rehydrated and refueled, you can then make your way towards the nursery lagoon. Alright, time to go in. So let's go under this glorious archway that we've made, and here you are greeted by the glorious sight of this beautiful lagoon and these lovely little cute Spinosauruses. Just look at them, how adorable. And you can see we've put in some fish over here to try and entice them over, try and encourage them to get up close to the guests so they can get a good look at them. And we also have some interactive signs here, so the guests can click on these and get some facts about the baby Spinosauruses. I tell you what, we'll have to be ringing the keeper and telling him to clean up this mess that they've left over here. My God, that's a big pile of dino dung for such a small baby dinosaur. Anyway, where was I? If we look behind us over here to the left, you've got to use your imagination now. Imagine that this is not a snack bar. This is in fact a fish bar. So you can go over here and order some bags of fish, and then you can go and feed the baby Spinosauruses. And I would recommend feeding them over here. If we just go around the corner, around this bend, you can see we have this lovely little bridge. So you can stand on this, and then, oh my goodness, one's got out. Oh my God. Pretend you didn't see that. You've said, oh my God, another one's got out. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh, this is chaos. Anyway, as I was saying, you can stand on this bridge and throw the fish into the water, and the Spinosauruses will come swimming over and eat the fish. And we need to make sure that they're getting fed regularly, because Spinosauruses, in fact dinosaurs in general, grew very, very fast. So they need to make sure that they're getting plenty of food. It'll take them around 20 years to grow into a full adult, but when you think about it, you know how big a Spinosaurus is. That's quite impressive. So we need to make sure that they're getting fed a lot of fish, lots of protein, to help them grow and stay healthy. And you can see here in the middle of the enclosure we have this little island, somewhere for the Spinosauruses to have a lie down on this sandy little beach area, maybe bask in the sun, have a little sunbathe. And it also gives them a bit of privacy as well. If they don't want to go on land near the fence over here. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Yes, if they don't want to go on the land over here near the guests, they can go over. They can swim to this little island and have a rest over here. And moving back to the bridge, if we look on the other side, you can see we have this glorious little waterfall that we put in, and it drops down once into this little pool and then splits off into two others. And this is bringing fresh water into the enclosure, which is very important. If you imagine, we've got 20 baby Spinosauruses in this enclosure. So imagine if they're going to the toilet a lot, all that waste. We don't want the water getting all dirty. So if you can imagine some pipe somewhere at the bottom of the lagoon, hidden by a rock or something like that, and that pipe will bring the water through a massive filter and then back to this waterfall. So this will be fresh, clean water coming in and making sure that the water is nice and clean. Moving on from the waterfall and the bridge, we come to the next section. And this area has the most land in this enclosure. If you look, most of the enclosure is just water, apart from this island over here. But here we have some land in case the Spinosauruses are exhausted, like this little one here. They're exhausted from swimming, they can come onto land and have a lie down. Oh, bless him, look at him. He's very, very tired. That's one tired Spinosaurus there. And you can see we have another feeding section over here where we've put some fish out. And over here we have a gate. This is where the keeper can get in and clean up. They've left another mess over here. And they can also restock these feeding stations. And also maybe even test the water, make sure the water is clean. And if not, maybe go and clean the filters from the waterfall. But we do have a lot of plants, and all these plants, their roots will suck up all of the dinosaur dung. A bit like it'll be like fertilizer for them. So these will all suck up that dirt out of the water and keep it nice and clean. So these are like filters themselves. They're keeping the water nice and clean. And just to mention as well, this area over here, all these bushes, are also part of the enclosure. So the Spinosauruses can go under the bridge here, and if they want to get a bit of privacy, they can go off into the bushes, maybe even a bit of shade as well, get out of that sun. They can go off here and hide in the mangrove bushes, and also on this section as well. There is a fence, but you can't see it, it's hidden by the bushes. Anyway, moving on. Oh my goodness, what is going on? I don't know where they're getting out from. I think it's this bridge, I think it's a glitch, I think they're just somehow walking over it here. But anyway, let's continue with the tour. So as we go round this path and come round the corner here, this is my favourite section of this enclosure. As we go down these stairs, we come to this beautiful aquarium viewing glass. And if I go down to first person mode here, this is what it looks like. You can come right up to the glass, and it doesn't show you, you can't see through it. This is a bug though. This isn't actually in the game. I hope it does come into the game eventually. But if we come up right up to it, you can see there, that's what it looks like through the glass. Marvellous, look at that, wow. And you can see we put lots of fallen logs down and twigs and pebbles and boulders and some reeds as well, some curly weeds growing up from the bottom there. And if I go in, you can see this is what it looks like. I wish the Spinosauruses would dive down and swim a bit deeper. At the moment they only swim at the surface. If I grab one, you can see all of them just tend to swim at the surface for now. So I hope this is something that comes into the game later on. It'd be great to see them diving down and doing some different types of behaviours. But at the moment they only swim at the top. And this is the deepest part of the lagoon. As you can see, the rest is really rather quite shallow. You'd probably be able to stand up in these areas over here. And it just gradually slopes down into this deeper section over here. So the Spinosauruses can dive down and practice their swimming before they go out into the huge lake for the adults. So coming back to this section, you can see I've added in this bit over here. Now this wasn't in the original build. I got the idea afterwards. I thought, you know what, let's turn this into a Spinosaurus feeding show. So now the guests can sit down in these benches over here. One of the keepers can climb up this ladder, grab some fish from these boxes, and then attach the fish to this little contraption we've made here. And then just imagine this moves. Turn it round with some kind of lever, and then you can feed Spinosauruses some fish. And what they could do is they could make it a bit harder for them. That's quite low. So if we bring it up a bit more, they could do different levels for them. Attach the fish to this, and then the Spinosauruses can jump out of the water, a bit like a crocodile, using that powerful tail to grab the fish from this rope, and then as they fall back down, make a big splash and soak all of the guests. How cool would that be though? That'd be a brilliant show. And we can have many shows scattered throughout the day, maybe 3 shows, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then late afternoon. And we can use this as well to bring the fish up. So if we turn it this way here, and we lower this rope down, attach the boxes to it, bring it back up, and then we can unload those boxes. Always make sure there's plenty of fish stocked up. Imagine the keeper gets up here and there's no fish left. That would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it? And we'd have a lot of angry guests. But yeah, I think this is a really cool idea. Imagine watching Spinosauruses jump up for their food. And it's also making them work for it, you know, rather than just throwing the fish off the bridge over here. You know, they're not really getting any exercise. This is making sure that they keep fit and healthy, you know, using the muscles and that powerful tail and to jump up and grab it. And it also it gives them something to do as well. They've got to really work for their food. So yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. And you know what? I also like these Spinosaurus models here as well. This is actually a wood carving, but it blends in really well with the stone. It looks like it's been chiseled out of the stone. A Spinosaurus catching this big fish. And behind us you can see we've got some refreshments, some vending machines here in case you need a drink while watching the show. And we have some toilets just in case you need the bathroom. So there is our Spinosaurus feeding show. Oh my God, what's going on here? Apologies about that. I don't know what on earth is going on today. All the animals are escaping. But let's move on with the tour. So we've come away from that feeding show. We come around this big rock here, and we come to a different perspective of the lagoon here. You can see it. I love this turquoisey blue colour. So beautiful. You You can see the babies running over there in the distance. And we come round here, underneath this tree, a little sign with some information. And then we're back to the archway. We've made it all the way round. Is it me, or have those babies grew? My goodness, they weren't that big a minute ago. They're growing very fast. Look at that, 5 months old already. And that's how much they've grown. Let's see, actually. If I get a baby up, let's have a look. Wow, look at that. That's how much they've grown. Get out of that muck. Wow, there is a bit of quite a big difference there, isn't there? In 5 months, that's how much they've grown. My God. You can really see the sail is starting to protrude there as well. Wow. And once they get big enough, they can then be moved over here with the adults. Hopefully they all get on. We did have a comment from Philip C4T who said it's going to be a bloodbath. You might be right there, actually, because Spinosauruses are quite solitary animals. So in the wild, they probably have one massive territory just for them, and they probably fight to defend it. But hopefully, if we feed them all very, very well, they should all get along just fine. We'll see how that goes anyway. But yes, there is our Spinosaurus nursery lagoon tour. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Prehistoric Kingdom content. Let me know down below in the comment section any ideas for future builds. And if you would like to know how this build was made step by step, then click the video on screen now.